Velkommen til Filmz TV. I tirsdagens udsendelse præsenterede vi den første række af vores eksklusive Transformers 3 interviews. Nærmere bestemt vores samtaler med instruktøren Michael Bay og skuespillerne Shia LaBeouf og Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. I dag bringer vi så resten af vores interviews. Vi har talt med Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson, Dempsey og John Malkovich. Men vi lægger ud med at anmelde ugens nye premierefilm. Det er blandt Transformers 3. Barneys mange liv er en sand rutsjetur af op- og nedture i en noget usædvanlig mands tilværelse. Barney Panofsky. Paul Giamatti er fortræffelig som den akavede Barney. Karakteren er på en gang uscharmerende og karismatisk, elskværdig og irriterende, men Giamatti formår på strålende vis at balancere mellem modsætningerne. Filmens omdrejningspunkt er Barneys forskellige ægteskaber, mens en af de konsekvente karakterer, der ikke forlader hans side, er hans far Izzy, der spilles af Dustin Hoffman. Samspillet mellem Hoffman og Giamatti skaber et både varmt og spøjst far-søn-forhold, som man kan tage og føle på. Barneys mange liv kan til tider være lidt forvirrende, da det netop er Barneys mange forskellige liv, vi følger, og indimellem hæmmer det altså den detaljerige fortælling, at man lige skal finde ud af, hvor man befinder sig i tid og rum. Nogle sekvenser forvirrer mere, end de fortæller, og indimellem savner man en rød tråd. Men i sidste ende er Barneys mange liv en hjertevarmende film om flere perioder, som formentlig kan nydes flere gange. 4 stjerner. Det er forunderligt, at en film om en lettere falderet cykelreparatør kan sætte så mange følelser i gang. Men det er ikke mindst den skæve og uhøjtidelige charme, der gør, at Bjergkøbing Grand Prix får et så godt tag i sin tilskuer, og at den ikke har mistet en døjt af sin charme. Den norske familiefilmklassiker fra 1975 får i denne uge repremiere i en splinter ny digital kopi, som fremstår umådeligt godt på det store lærred, hvor man med fryd kan navstudere dukkerne og modellernes mange detaljer. Ligesom de bedste af Pixars film fungerer humoren ofte på flere planer, hvor man alt efter aldersgruppen får noget vidt forskelligt ud af den selv samme bemærkning. At gense denne pragtfulde film på det store lærred er i det hele taget en fantastisk oplevelse. Og selvom tiden er blevet en anden siden 1975, og teknikkerne er blevet digitale siden dengang, så fremstår filmen stadig forbløffende uformindsket i sin styrke. Der findes simpelthen ingen 3D-effekt i denne verden, der kan matche denne vidunderlige charmeboble. 6 stjerner. Husk, at du på hjemmesiden kan finde vores Filmz TV-udsendelse fra den 17. juni, hvor vi interviewede en af filmens bagmænd, Remo Caprino, og kiggede nærmere på filmens skabelse. Instruktøren Michael Bay har flere gange lovet, at hans tredje Transformers-film vil være blottet for den fjolede komik, som plagede seriens første 2 kapitler. Men på trods af Bays løfter har Transformers 3 nøjagtigt lige så mange jammerlige jokes som forgængerne. Og det er en skam, for bag filmens farseagtige facade gemmer der sig tydeligvis et hæderligt actionbrag, der prøver på at bryde ud, men som gang på gang holdes tilbage af ligegyldigt ævl. Heldigvis viser Transformers 3 så også at være den mest seriøse af alle Transformers-filmene. Og når Bay ikke har travlt med at imitere de aller værste afsnit af vores værste år, skildrer han konflikten mellem robotterne og menneskerne med en intensitet, som matcher den i instruktørens forbillede Ridley Scotts Black Hawk Down. De forbløffende actionsekvenser byder på computereffekter og lyddesign i verdensklasse, og de fungerer fortrinligt i 3D. Især en fantastisk skydive-sekvens igennem downtown Chicago. Foran kameraet er de fleste af skuespillerne forholdsvis anonyme, og pudsigt nok er det de computerskabte maskiner og deres respektive stemmelæggere, som præsterer filmens bedste skuespil. De sidste 45 minutter af Transformers 3 er et sensationelt sansebombardement, men filmens første time er simpelthen et rædselskabinet af pinagtige platheder, der efterlader en skamplet på filmen, som de resterende scener ikke magter at vaske af. 3 stjerner. På hjemmesiden kan du finde vores sidste udsendelse om Transformers 3, som bød på vores eksklusive interviews med Michael Bay og skuespillerne Shia LaBeouf og Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. Og i dagens program præsenterer vi resten af vores interviews fra filmens pressejunket i Moskva. Vi lægger ud med vores samtaler med Josh Duhamel og Tyrese Gibson, som har spillet soldaterne Lennox og Epps i alle 3 Transformers-film.
Well, it's always seemed to me that in the first 2 Transformers movies that the military's always been there to get its ass kicked, kind of to underline how badass these evil robots are. But in this one, you finally get to kick their ass thoroughly. So yeah. that must have been a refreshing change of pace.
You know what? It's when I got the news that we would finally appear to be whooping the robots' asses in this one, I was very happy about that. Because we're always on the receiving end of an ass whooping. We've learned to shoot them in the knees and they come falling down.
Cool.
So if a robot ever shows up in your neighborhood and you have a little 9mm gun, just aim for the knee. Pew, pew. pew, and you'll see it go down.
Or speed dial Tyrese Gibson.
That's
obviously.
it. That's it. Call me up, man. I'm the Ghostbusters of robots. I'll get them.
Well, did we get to? I mean, they beat us up pretty good.
But it's interesting. Between each movie, you get promoted.
Yeah.
So despite
Isn't that
getting,
funny?
yeah, it is.
Isn't that funny? I'm the
yeah.
fastest rising soldier in the history of the U.S. military.
Yeah, you lieutenant
And if
colonel.
you remember in the last movie, I threw that national security advisor off the plane.
Yeah.
And I still got promoted. I don't know how that works.
I'm looking forward to you playing the President of the United States in the fourth
Yes,
one.
thank you.
Yeah. It seems to me that you have kind of this cool bromance going with Josh in these movies. Any chance of developing that in the fourth movie?
I don't know, man. Josh is, he's funny, man. I like working with Josh. He's a good guy.
You know, it's man love. What do I tell you? What can I say?
We just, you know what? Listen, we show up, and Michael challenges us, and we just try to be the best that we can, man, because he has very high expectations of us. We try and get a lot of sleep, man, because that man is very aggressive on a movie set. We try and live up to his expectations.
I hate to admit it, but I sprained both of my ankles on the very same day.
Wow.
Yeah, I sprained one before lunch, and then I sprained the other one after lunch. So, yeah, you'd think I would get some sympathy from Michael Bay or some of my friends on the set, but no.
No.
You know.
Is he a tough cookie?
Oh, he promised me that, no, you know, we're not going to make you run anymore. You're okay. What's the first thing we do after lunch? We start running again.
I think right now, with all of the stuff going on with family life and the economy and recession that's happening around the world, you want to just go to the movies and forget about all the stuff going on in your world for at least 2-3 hours. And I think these movies allow you to do that. They're funny. It's a lot to see. It's a way to escape away from all of your realities. And I mean, it doesn't get any bigger and crazier than this.
Bagefter fik vi talt med hjerteknuseren Patrick Dempsey, der især er kendt som Dr. McDreamy i tv-serien Grey's Anatomy. Faktisk interviewede vi Dempsey for et par år siden, da han slog et smut forbi København, og her hæftede vi os især ved en udtalelse fra manden.
I don't want to carry a gun. I don't ever really want to shoot a gun. I mean, that could pigeonhole me and get me in a lot of trouble because a good script comes up and you're like, yeah, but I can't carry a gun. I think there's too much violence in the world. We don't need to depict it in front of the camera. I don't think kids need to see that. It's sad. We don't need to go to the movie theater and see that right now.
Nu lader det dog til, at pipen har fået en helt anden lyd.
You get tired of doing the same thing over and over. And with the show, you certainly have a specific beat and know that you're allowed to play and you can't kind of go outside that. And I wanted to do something different and stretch a little bit and to do an action movie, and this was a really nice fit. Mm-hmm. It's definitely fun to do something that people don't expect you to be doing.
Mm-hmm. And you're not worried it's going to create some cracks in the McDreamy image?
Well, I hope it does. I think it's good to stir that up, and that's all coming to an end soon anyway, so it's important to be looking forward and to try new things.
Mm-hmm. What was your impression of Michael Bay? Were you surprised that he called you up for this movie?
Yeah, I mean, I had met him socially and got along with him very well, and then we started talking about, you know, possibly doing a role in Transformers, and, you know, he was very clear in what he wanted and how he works. You know, he comes in, he expects everybody to be prepared and ready to go as soon as he steps on set, and he said I worked very quickly, and I had a great time with him. It's probably the most fun I've ever had on a movie, quite honestly. He's very sensitive to what is going on around him, so he can be really aggressive one moment, and then the moment after he gets his shot, he lightens things up, so he's sensitive in that respect. I have tremendous respect for him. I think he did a phenomenal job with the amount of people that he has to direct and control and the size of the budget. You know, I'd do anything with him.
Mm-hmm. So have you got an appetite for movies like this? Is that the sort of thing you'd like to delve into a bit more, maybe?
Oh, action movies? Certainly,
yeah.
I think anything where you're not doing the same thing. I think anything that can challenge you, I think, is certainly what I'm looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
Til slut talte vi med det legendariske stortalent John Malkovich, som spiller Shia LaBeoufs overgivede og ekscentriske chef i filmen.
It's been fun to follow your career recently. You've done a lot of action stuff. Actually, you've done Red and Jonah Hex and now Transformers 3. So you've been really kicking it back within this genre. It's been a while since Con Air came out. Yes. Is that liberating for you to do that sort of stuff?
Well, I always love that stuff. I don't get offered it a lot. I mean, sometimes, And then sometimes when you do, you just don't think that particular one could be very good. But with things like Con Air or Red or Transformers, it's pretty obvious how it could be good, how it could appeal to an audience, and how one could have fun doing it. So, yeah, I enjoy doing that stuff. I don't do it a lot, but I like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are you disappointed you're not getting it offered that much? Do you think there's an image of you being a very, very serious actor?
Maybe, but certainly no one who knows me thinks of me as serious, for sure. But maybe, but I would never even reflect on what I'm offered or not offered.
What about Michael Bay? What was your impression of that?
Well, I didn't have so much of an impression of him, meaning I had heard stories that he was quite difficult and et cetera, I didn't find that at all. I got along with him super well. He's very bright, he's very quick, and he's one of those people you think the film is just in his head completely. And you know, sometimes you have the feeling he's just making it alone, and that's hard.
You mentioned John Turturro, and he's obviously also in the movie, and so is Frances McDormand. It's almost like a kind of mini Coen Brothers reunion, actually.
Yes.
Do you think the Coen Brothers could have done a good Transformers?
I don't know if they'd want to, but I think they could do most things, yeah. Mm-hmm. They're pretty good.
Yeah. And speaking of directors, I'm a huge fan of The Dancer Upstairs, and I've been wondering why you haven't directed a feature. Do you have anything in the pipeline, or why have you decided against it?
Well, I looked at a couple things afterwards, one of which I quite liked. I was offered several things to look at, but you know, we have a company, Mr. Mudd, we produce movies, so that's already a lot of work. Mm-hmm. I honestly have not found some script that I thought, you know what, it's probably better I just do this myself rather than ask person XYZ to do it. Mm-hmm. Maybe someday I will, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I direct a lot in the theater, and the difference between that is if I want to direct a play, that's one phone call. Mm-hmm. To direct a movie, that's years and years of blah, 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 and I'm not great with blah, blah, blah. You know?
Vi fik også slået et smut forbi filmens verdenspremiere i forbindelse med den internationale filmfestival i Moskva. Og derefter var der koncert med Linkin Park på Den Røde Plads, hvor alle kendiserne også var mødt op. Det var alt for denne gang på Filmz TV. Vi ønsker alle vores seere en rigtig, rigtig god sommer. Vi tager på sommerferie her i juli måned, men vi er tilbage igen med helt nye afsnit af Filmz TV allerede i den første uge af august. Tak for nu, og på gensyn.